Spotify Wrapped is here, so we're wrapping our third season by exposing 3 seasons of bestie banter and a few regrets.
Cool Mates Entertainment presents Not Another Spooky Podcast.
Hey Coaster Squad, welcome back to Not Another Spooky Podcast, aka your favorite spooky slumber party. I'm Mandy Spooks.
And I'm Rabbit Loves Horror. We're just two lifelong besties keeping the spook alive together all year.
Today we're grave digging into what 3 seasons of keeping the spook alive has amounted to. Just like Spotify Wrapped, we're exposing the spooky truth about this show with data and a very vulnerable recap of our favorite and most regrettable moments. To set the vibe for this episode, let's get into some spooky slumber party shenanigans. Today's game is Bone, Marry, Slash. So today's theme is wrapped, so I thought I'd make it extra hard and bring back a few favorites for one final challenge. If you have to bone, marry, and slash from these characters, what would your lineup be? We have Tiffany from Bride of Chucky, Blade, and Jim from 28 Days Later. No, was it 28 Days Later?
Yeah, that's 28 Days
Oh,
Later.
okay, sorry. Too many of these 28s.
I know. Yeah, this is kind of like the elite boss of Bone Marry Slash.
Yup.
It's like the March Madness bracket of all of them like coming together to these three. Because I think we all married them, right? I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure. Now I know, though, that I'm going to start an actual bracket for 2026 so that I can easily reference what were the most, like, loved ones.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Slash. Who am I gonna slash? There's like no right answer.
I know.
I'll slash Tiffany. Which I feel bad, but she's just a doll. It's her time. It's time to move on, girly. I'll bone Jim from 28 Days Later. Just, I don't know. I have no like real reasons behind this.
I know, it's hard.
And I'll marry Blade. He just seems like a good guy. He'll protect me. And yeah, it'll be a good time. That was hard.
Okay. I will slash. I can't believe this. This is ridiculous. I will slash Blade. Only because, like, it's tough because he has the whole immortality thing going for him too. But also, I think he's very serious. So
True.
I feel like, I don't know. Tiffany, I don't know. I would still love to have one amazing night with her. Like, we would have so much fun. She's so sexy. She's crazy. Like, it would be like one epic night of just insanity. And then marry Jim. I feel like we don't get to see that he could be like a really fun person due to circumstances, but I feel like he could be. And he's just he owned my heart. This is making me want to watch the movie again, honestly.
Oh my gosh.
Because, like, he's just not what I expected from this film. Like, and he's human. Like, for being human, he was pretty incredible. So I have nothing to say about him.
That's fair. He does seem like the most husbandy material from these three.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so let's get into some
haunted housekeeping.
Well, first of all, we wanted to say thank you to all of our listeners for all your support this year. This podcast has been a lot of hard work, but also a lot of fun. But I know that I definitely feel like it has only brought us closer than ever. If you haven't been keeping up, this is officially the end of our 3rd season and of 2025. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Not Another Spooky Podcast so you can find out when we'll be premiering season 4 in the new year. If you've been enjoying the show, subscribing on YouTube, following the podcast on your podcast platforms, and leaving a written 5-star review really does go a long way and help us reach more spooky ghoulsters just like yourself. I also wanted to mention that if you are missing the more thorough movie reviews we used to do, I have two, and I've evolved my YouTube channel to focus a lot more on my passion for spooky movies and TV as a filmmaker. My review of Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein is live already, and I'm hoping to have a review of Wicked for Good and The Housemaid over the next few weeks, so be sure to check out my Mandy Spooks channel over the break as well. And be patient with me because I'm in this new era of trying to balance everything, but really going back to doing the kind of quality I like on all my platforms. So very happy about that. Do you have anything
Yes.
you want to add?
You're a very busy gal.
I know.
I don't want to say too much because I feel like we're going to be asking questions later on in the episode, but I just wanted to also say thank you to the listeners for all the support and all the likes and subscribing and for listening. So thank you.
Hamal, you're welcome. All right, Ghosters, it's time to get into the spooky mood for today's main event of Not Another Spooky Podcast Wrapped. So grab your notebooks and pencils because Slash is in session. Today, I've prepared a very special recap of everything you missed in the first 3 seasons of Not Another Spooky Podcast. I did not tell Rabbit about this, so I'm kind of excited.
I'm scared.
No,
I don't know
don't
what this
be.
is.
Don't be scared. It's good. It's good. I think I'm in my healed era and I probably won't cry. Maybe.
Okay, we'll see.
For 20 years, these two lifelong spooky besties wanted to create something fun together, and then the day came screaming at us. Today's the day! Today's the day, spooky besties! After watching The Woman in the Yard, we realized our friendship was so spooky and iconic, we had to share our conversations with the world, and the rest is history. We put on our filmmaking critique hats and covered some of the best films of 2025, from Sinners to 28 Years Later, and to some of the most controversial, like Weapons and the 50th anniversary of Jaws. But after spending some much-needed quality time together in person, we realized that while filmmaking is one of my greatest passions, what we do best is simply keep the spook alive together, and sometimes there is no formula to that. Whether it's sharing our latest spooky adventures with each other from afar, going to Halloween Horror Nights together, telling each other ghost stories, brainstorming costumes, or fangirling over scary movies, the real magic of these lifelong spooky besties is our undying love to keep the spook alive. And that's everything you missed in seasons 1 through 3 of Not Another Spooky Podcast.
I love that. It was like a little history lesson on what this podcast is.
I know. Oh, I should have put like the inception of it too, but to me that kind of has been erased now.
Yeah. No, I thought it was perfect. No notes.
Thank you. I know. You know what's funny? When I was putting this episode together, I wanted to do something like that, but it was one of those like where you're just kind of like overthinking it because I was like,
Yeah.
well, I don't want to have to figure out like what were all the things we talked about, and then I was like, I'm just gonna go from like what stuck out to me the most.
Yeah. I think that's what counts, what really stuck with you throughout these 3 seasons. That was good.
Yeah, glad you liked it. All right, Ghosters, let's get into 3 seasons of keeping the spook alive.
It's alive! It's alive!
Okay, so I thought today would be a good time to do our little Q&A format that we seemed to really enjoy this season. So I feel like it'll be like one of those rotating formats we do. And I've split our questions into 4 sections. So we're going to start off with the data. Then we'll go into the favorites, the outtakes, and the insights. I'm very proud of this
Ooh.
organization.
It's
had
good. I
been
like it.
very overwhelmed this spooky season, and I'm like, I'm glad that I had the time to like end the season on a more organized note for you guys. So getting into the data, I'm gonna ask you questions and you're gonna guess, and then I'll give you the actual answer.
Okay, I have my calculator ready for the data.
Okay. How many episodes did we record this year?
Oh, this year? There's about 10 episodes. I'd say 31.
You are so close.
Oh, really?
It was 32, but to be
Oh.
fair, technically we did do 31 because I did one by myself.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So that was actually very accurate. That's crazy.
I'm proud of myself for that one.
How many movies did we watch and review together?
Okay, now this one's a little bit more hard because we didn't do movies every single time, but we did do it for one full season. So there's at least 10. And then there was a couple. Let's go with 19.
24.
Oh, I didn't know whether to go up or down from 20, so I just stuck around 20.
I was kind of surprised, and I was like, that's actually still a lot of work. We averaged like 2 movies a month, if you like, and that's because we started late in the year. So I was
Yeah.
like, we did work very hard this year.
Yeah, we saw a lot of movies for sure.
Okay, and let's see if you know this one. What were our most viral moments?
Oh. Well, one of them for sure is when we were talking about Brightburn and we got into the whole Brightburn universe and people were trying to mansplain that Brightburn was based off of or like inspired by DC Comics and not Marvel Comics, but I was trying to say I want like a Marvel Cinematic Universe style
Yeah.
franchise when people kind of like misunderstood it. And I guess there are other movies that are in this universe, but they don't just sound as interesting. So I don't know if I'll ever go watch them, but I know that's one of them. So Brightburn, and then of course Weapons. I think.
Weapons was not a viral
Really?
moment. Yeah. So Brightburn, do you want to guess how many views it had on TikTok?
120,000?
97,600 views.
Ooh, that's still a lot.
A
That's
lot of
scary.
people watched you this year, Rabbit.
That's crazy to me.
I don't know how many Weapons did, but it wasn't anywhere near the top 2 viral. The Courtney Cox rule.
Oh, that's right. I was like, I know there's another one, but I couldn't remember the Courtney Cox rule. That was another one where people were confused. Like half of the people understood what you're trying to say, and then half of the people were arguing with you, but they were arguing about the same thing.
I know. Do you want to guess how many that one had?
That one had more. So let's go with the say 120,000.
144,400.
Oh my God. That is crazy.
What's funny to me is I'm like, I have been saying that rule for 5 years. If I had known, I would have said it sooner.
I know, right?
Thrown it on TikTok sooner.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I thought that was funny. Okay, and lastly, how many hours do you think people consumed our episodes this year? So that would be
That's
combining YouTube and Spotify.
that's a hard one. But I'm gonna guess 550 hours.
748.
That's crazy. That's a lot of time listening.
I know. So yeah, I think for me, I always love Wrapped season in general because we're still gonna receive our actual Spotify Wrapped as a podcast. We get that every year, but it hasn't, as of the day we're recording, we haven't received it yet. But I think it's always a really nice time to reflect on how far we've come in the year because we get so stuck in the like week to week of like how far, like how well has last week's episode done and
Yeah.
where are we at with listeners. And so when you look at it from the whole year, it's like, oh, people really are listening and we should be more appreciative of everything in our life.
I know. It's one of those things like anything in life, you always look at the negative and kind of like focus on the negative rather than just appreciating what you do have. And it's really hard to not look at the bad. I think the bad is always like the most interesting thing to focus on, at least like for humans or human nature is just to like focus on the bad. And yeah, it's a nice little reminder to it's not all bad. There's always
Yeah.
a silver lining and there's always the other side of the coin.
Yeah, for sure. So that was our data. And now we're moving into our favorites. I feel like this might be the hardest section, to be honest. Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But we're going to start with the obvious one of what was your most favorite episode?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I had kind of reviewed these questions before to see if I can like think of something, but I like always like go back and forth between some episodes. Like first I want to say the Scream episode, just because it was like the first time I went back to watch one of my favorite horror movies and watch it with like a analytical side to it, and kind of like trying to break down the scenes and analyze like what's going on the screen, like what are they trying to portray on screen and what they're trying to make me feel. So that was kind of nice to go back and kind of just do a deep dive. But then I don't know, the episode with this was fun because it was like the one time I got to like ask and poke about questions about a
Yeah.
paranormal story, where usually like I also listen to ghost story podcasts or read ghost stories online or just like read threads about ghost stories. And that was like the first time where I could kind of just like poke and ask questions and kind of like ask to elaborate on something specifically. So I don't know, it's a toss up between those two. What about you?
I've had so much fun on this podcast that I don't know. Like, it's hard, but my initial answer was going to be the Dia de los Muertos episode. Because it was just like such a crazy episode. It went in a whole direction we didn't even plan, but we just both went with it. But then the other one is also Rosario. And I think
True.
the reason is because this is like the only platform that I have to like explore my heritage. Like it doesn't make sense for YouTube. It doesn't make sense for Instagram most of the time. So I feel like for me, I love that this podcast gives me a space to explore like other parts of myself that aren't necessarily like, not that they're not accepted. It's just like for certain reasons, it just doesn't make sense for those platforms. But I don't know. It's hard because they were two completely different episodes. So that's
Yeah,
why it's like one for certain reasons and the other for different. But I think one of those two episodes would take it from me.
I think that's fair. I think we can choose two top.
I think this one's harder. What was your least favorite episode?
Oh gosh, that is a really hard one. Um, let's go with Jaws, only because I did not enjoy the movie, and I know that it is such a loved movie that when I was recording that episode, I was like regretting what I was saying while recording. Like I was like, I shouldn't be saying this out loud. So it was kind of like I was in my head, but then also trying to kind of like be outspoken and kind of just, try to get my point across of what I'm trying to say. But at the back of my mind, I was like, you need to shut up, stop saying this, stop. So it was just a really hard episode to record for me. What about you?
I don't know. I don't want to go with like such an obvious generic answer, but I think probably like the one I did by myself when you went on break. Only because I many times throughout these 3 seasons have just been too overwhelmed to like make an episode what I want it to be. And I guess it's like my biggest not regret, because I think everyone knows what I'm capable of and understands that I'm busy, but it was like the one chance I had to do like a classic OG not another spooky podcast style episode of like by myself, but because things were just too crazy, I wasn't able to. And so I guess that was my least favorite, because I know I'm capable of doing something better by myself, so it didn't like represent accurately what I'm capable of doing if you ever need a break.
Right. No, that makes sense. You kind of have like a little regret there. I get it.
Yeah. Okay, what was your favorite thing we did together in person? Because I feel like this year we were very spoiled to spend a lot of time together.
We definitely spent the most time together than we have in like years.
Yeah.
Um, I want to be very specific with this one.
Okay.
My favorite thing we did together was sharing the Jason's s'more together.
That is very specific. Why? Why
Well,
that?
number one, I love a good sweet treat, and it was really, really good. Like like, oh, I'm drooling right now just thinking about it. And number two, like obviously the whole night was fun, but I don't know, that night, that part of the night was just the most exciting because it was towards like the beginning. We had just barely gotten like went through like one or two haunts at that time maybe, and it was like our little rest before we went to the rest of all the haunts. So it was just like the start of an exciting night, and it was a really good sweet treat, and I don't know, it was just the perfect little moment for me. What about you?
You know, I love to hear that because I was moping so bad that day and I was so like I that was a day where I was just like probably the worst company. So I appreciate that even at my worst, you still love me.
Yes, it was a hard day for you. I felt so bad.
Yeah. No, I was thinking about it last night and I was just like, it is so insane how that night I feel like just changed my whole trajectory.
I know, yeah, it's crazy.
Um, okay, my favorite thing I just realized also like did not process that I think it was my favorite till just now, but I think it was when you met me at California Adventure because it was not planned. And like we had
Mm,
planned almost everything that week, but I think like the day before had been like so miserable because it was so hot.
yeah,
And then I was like, fuck this. I'm going to go in the morning, get what I need, and go back. But then you were like, oh, I can meet you. And like that ended up being like the best time we had at Disney. I think like we took our time, like we had some drinks together, we walked around, and it wasn't as hot as the day before from what
no,
I
yeah,
remember. So I feel like that day was just like chill, which we don't have. Like HHN was very like, we have to do this, we have to do that. And then the day before was also very like, well, we have to try all these treats we want to try. But then we had the time to like enjoy the process at California Adventure, which is not something I would ever thought that was my favorite thing.
I know, because
Um,
usually you're just like very go 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 go. We gotta do this, we gotta do that, and that day or that evening was just like let's just walk around, have some treats, and just hang out at Disneyland, and that's what we did.
yeah, yeah. And I think it helped because I had the whole morning to be go, go, go about my content
True,
too.
yeah,
So, maybe that's the formula. Let me get my stuff out of the way and then people can join me.
yeah. You just need some alone time.
Yeah. Okay, what was your favorite spooky event in general this year, whether I was there or not?
Hmm, that's a hard one, and I was gonna say it. I think not Scary Farm.
There's nothing controversial about that. Like, are you like, I'm just gonna say it. Like, you're
I
gonna be
just
the
feel
band-aid.
I just feel like people praise Horror Nights so much, which is, it is good. I'm not saying it's bad, but there's just something special about Not Scary Farm. I don't know. It has like a little some extra to it for me. I don't know if it's just like the different vibes it has, where it's kind of like an older theme park and it's more open and more spread out, and like there's different themed like areas and they're like different themed houses. I don't know, I just had a really good time there, and all the houses were pretty good. There was like some that maybe weren't as good as others, but for the most part I had a really good time going through the houses, and I think that was my favorite event for sure. What about
That's
yours?
fair. Honestly, not even surprising to me. to be honest, I don't think I was surprised. Um, does it have to be something I've already spoken about on the podcast, or can it be a new one?
It could be whatever, I'd say.
Well, I haven't gotten to talk about it yet, but I think the Wicked for Good screening was my favorite thing I did this year.
Oh,
It was just like there okay, no, I lie. There are two, and I did talk about one. The first one was going to 13th floor with Liz. I think like going to a haunt with your girlfriend is like the number one thing every woman should experience. Like, we had so much fun that night. But then the other was, I guess that counts as my did mention it on the podcast. But yeah, Wicked for Good screening was the peak of Mandy spooks for me. It's funny because I moped a lot at HHM, like we talked about. And there's not a lot of screening opportunity. Like, there are screenings in Colorado, but not at the level of the ones that happen in Hollywood, of course. And I was so happy that it was like a spooky movie, and it's like spooky adjacent, spooky pop culture like I love outside of horror. And if you guys haven't seen on my YouTube or on Instagram, I went to a screening and they had like actual actors dressed as Glinda and Alphaba. They gave us merch. They gave us concessions, like, so we could try the Wicked for Good menu from Alamo Draft House. And I went with Mr. Spooks, and it was just kind of like, oh my gosh, like, I changed this whole outlook about content after HHN, about how I was going to focus on movies again. And then I got the opportunity to go to like these screenings. But like, this was a really legit screening. So like, to receive merch at a screening and have like the meals covered and stuff was just like, we did it. We freaking made it. So it was just like, oh, it feels like everything's coming together for me.
Yeah, it looked like so much fun, and everything you got was like looked legit. Like all the little, I don't know if it were like tin boxes. Is that what they were?
Yeah. I was going to do a show and tell, and I was like, oh, it doesn't make sense for this episode, and I should have grabbed it. But they gave us this like little pink mug. It's like, I don't know, it looks like the perfect mug to put cider in. And so it's pink and it has Glinda on it.
Uh-huh.
And then they gave us like those classic lunchbox tin, like those tin lunch boxes. But the coolest part is that the inside had those little thermos cups. We didn't even know. Me and Rudy were like, when we opened it when we got home. So the inside of the lunchbox had those little thermos things where it's like the cup you screw on and then you like pour the drink in.
Yeah, like the old school stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
how
they gave us one of
fun.
those. And then it's funny because I did ask to film the popcorn buckets. They didn't give us those. But then I was so excited about the fact that we were there that when we left the movie, I was like, I should have gotten the Glinda popcorn bucket. So I did go back, and she's right there. She's been added to the collection. I did go back, and thankfully they still had some. And I was also like, it's to like commemorate that we went to the screening and
Right.
everything. So yeah, it was really cool, and we did get to try the menu. And I was like, going before we went, I was kind of bummed because I wasn't like a big fan of the menu. They had like a pink and green pizza, and I was like, I don't want plain pizza. Like, it was just like a pizza that had like pesto strips on it. But then
Oh,
Rudy read the menu, and you could make it wicked and add like pepperoni and sausage to it, I think. And I had never tried the pizza at Alamo Draft House. It was so good. The pizza at
really?
Alamo Draft House, well, I mean, everything they make is so good. But yeah, I was like, okay, this is the vibe. Pizza and bottomless popcorn from here on out. And the milkshakes are good too, but I didn't have that.
Did you get bottomless popcorn?
Yeah, you can get bottomless popcorn of the plain butter popcorn, but I also saw they have pickle popcorn now on the menu. And I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do next time because that one's not bottomless.
Oh my gosh. Now you're making my mouth water again.
You
Yeah,
don't have
the
Alamo Draft House out there, right?
I don't know because we only stick to one AMC.
That's true.
Yeah.
I've been considering switching because
Oh,
they do
really?
also have a subscription. But I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, it's really good. If you don't have one, I think we really need to go to a movie when you come visit again.
Yeah, if we do have one, it's not nearby because I have not seen one near me. Yeah, we just go to AMC for the most part. But yeah, I will say that all of the Wicked merch that you showed and was really good, and also the popcorn buckets, not only at the Draft House but also at AMC, they're really really nice. Like the one that's a pink bubble, or it's a pink bubble. I think Linda is like a little statue in there. I kept kind of like poking at Metz and Frankel. I was like, "Are you sure you don't want it?" Because I'm like, I like it.
Why didn't he want it?
I don't know. It was weird. I was like, "You don't want any of this? Like, this is like your favorite thing of all time." And he was like, no, I wouldn't know where to put it. And I'm like, okay, well, this is really cute.
That's funny.
So we didn't end
That's
up getting it.
crazy. They didn't want it.
I know. It's weird.
I
Maybe we'll
also
go
was
back.
just like, the popcorn bucket is actually purple because
Yeah.
like I won't say too much, but I actually loved Glinda now. But I was also like, why does she have to be pink though? Like I hate pink. And then so I was like, well, the bucket's purple, so I should go back and get it because they're probably never gonna do purple Glinda merch again.
No, yeah. When you think Glenda, you think pink for sure.
Yeah. Okay, and then the last favorite question is what is your favorite or what was your favorite movie we covered?
Um, why am I blanking? Friendo the Clown. What's that movie called?
Oh, corn clown in a cornfield.
Corn in the Clown Field. Yeah, I think that was the favorite movie that we covered. One, because it was such a nice surprise that I enjoyed the movie so much. So I was just as excited to talk about it. So I think that's going to be my favorite movie. And I'm still surprised I gave it 5 stars.
I'm still surprised you keep talking
Like that's,
about
yeah.
it.
I don't know
You brought
why I
it up
like it
in the
so much.
Halloween episode. You brought it up today. That's crazy to me. Um,
Yeah, I don't get it.
I
But
think I think I am salty about it because I couldn't catch Friendo when he was doing his little road trip thing. So
oh, yeah,
that
yeah.
like makes me hate it. I don't hate it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's
You
like
have a little
that. Like
grudge. Yeah, yeah.
yes, yes. Um,
What about you?
okay. I hate to like say the same thing again, but I think Rosario was one of my favorites because this is why I miss the old format. It like forced me to go watch movies that I wouldn't prioritize, and
Yeah.
that is one that I would not have prioritized, and I really loved it. Like it was not the best film, we've talked about it, but it just meant a lot to me. So I think like that's always the first one I go back to.
No, yeah. I feel the same way because I don't know if I would have gone to see it either. And I kind of like pulled back from going to the movies as much since we stopped prioritizing movies. Yeah, so I agree. It doing that format kind of like forced you to go watch something that you particularly wouldn't want to go to, and like I don't even know if I would have gone to see Clown in the Cornfield if it wasn't for the podcast, and that's kind of scary because I really liked it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, I agree. So that's why I'm like, oh, I love what we're doing, but I've also like missed it. And so I'm like, well, that's what I have a channel for.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we're going into the outtakes. And selfishly, I did this so I could clear my own my, my
Clear
own
the air.
battles. But the first question is, do you regret saying anything on the show from seasons 1 through 3?
Nothing is coming to mind, but I'm sure there is things that probably you shouldn't have said. But I think more it's I wish like after you record an episode you're like, "Oh, I should have said this," or "Oh, I should have said it this way." It's kind of more like I wish I said something more or said it differently. Not really regret saying anything. That's what I'm going to stick to for now.
That makes
Does
sense.
that make sense? Okay.
Yes, it does. I think I feel the same way. So obviously, I think the very, very obvious one is weapons. I think more so I regret how I talked shit about it. In retrospect, this year has been a really big like internal battle for me to be more like an actually authentic version of myself, but then also realizing I'm trying to be a filmmaker and I don't want to be hated if I ever actually do become relevant in the filmmaking industry. But in retrospect, that's just not how I like to present myself. I don't like to tear things down and stuff, so there are better ways I could have spoken about it. Um and also I've done the work to like listen to people that I respect, like actual screenwriters talk about it, and I understand better now like why the movie went so viral, even though there were like screenwriting flaws with it. I do think Zach Cregger is an amazing director. I don't agree with the screenwriting approach, but there are a lot of reasons why the film went viral aside from the things that were wrong from it. So I think like maybe not talking about a film I don't like initially so that I don't have that like instant like gut reaction, like knee jerk reaction to something, if that makes sense. Um and then the other one is like really dumb, but it really did eat me alive because it's such a big part of my brand, but our Monster Mash Bone Mary Slash, um I was like, I cannot believe I chose Dracula.
That
And
was random.
also though, I was like, the answer was so obvious of what I could have done to eliminate all the problems. I could have boned Dracula so that he could make me into a vampire. And then I could have married Frankenstein and lived forever with my actual monster, but then I would have been a vampire. And I'm like, why did I not think of that on the spot? And I came up with the question.
Yeah, see, it's just one of those things where you like sit on it and you're like, oh, I should have said this or I should have done this. And it's hard because it's recorded and you can't go back and change what you say.
Yes. And also, like, it really is like, really, Mandy, that's what you think about at night. But it's because I also watched the Frankenstein movie and I was like, how could I have not chosen him? Like, what is wrong with me? And then I was like, oh, I found the way around it.
Yeah. No, I knew once the new Frankenstein movie came out, which I haven't seen it yet, that it would probably like sway our minds. But yeah, I need to watch it and see how I feel afterwards because it's getting a lot of good reviews. People are loving it and loving him too.
It is amazing, but I feel like you will be a Doctor fan more than anything. And I'll leave it at that.
Oh,
We can
okay.
discuss it in the new year.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, do you wish you had been more honest about anything?
No. I think I really tried these past seasons to really be honest about my thoughts on everything. And that was really hard because I had to like really push myself to be outspoken about my preferences and my opinions about movies and about horror movies. So I feel like I was maybe too honest sometimes, at least for my taste. So I don't think so. What about you?
Um, no, I also don't think so. I'm very proud of how far I've come this year with being honest. Sometimes too honest, like I just said about weapons. Um, but I'm also really proud of that because I've always filtered myself a lot. So for me, it's like, good for you, Mandy. You're starting to like truly embrace your authentic self, even though you've been saying you've been authentic for 5 years. Are there any things you want to clear the air on or get off your chest? Dear
Um,
Mandy Spooks, I hate your freaking guts.
no. No, not that. Um, God, I gotta think about this one a little bit more. Um, do you want to go first?
I'm I'm intrigued that you're thinking about it because that means there's something in there that you need to pull out.
I know. I'm like, I think I thought of something, but it's not coming up.
Okay. Well, mine is Dear Rabbit Loves Horror. I hate your stinking guts. Because you let me go on and on in the Wicked episode about how Glinda was this weak person. And that's all I was thinking. Spoiler alerts, guys. Sorry. If you haven't seen Wicked for Good, skip to like 2 minutes ahead. All I could think was, I cannot believe that Rabbit let me sit there and talk so much crap about Glinda, knowing that she's like none of the things I was saying about her. And I was just like, what the hell? Like, basically, I'm Glinda and I talk shit about myself.
I think it's perfect though, because that's how you're supposed to feel about Glinda. And the
Yeah.
first half of like even the theater show. Like you don't like her. Like she is just like this bully and she's all about herself and tries to put up this facade. And then you get to act 2 or like the second movie and you see her you see her side of things a little bit more and you start to kind of relate to her a little bit more in some aspects and some of her decisions. And you even see her kind of grow into like herself. She like realizes like, okay, I'm also wicked. I'm not also not perfect. There's part of me that is also wicked, but I know I can push through and do good for everybody else. So it's like a coming full circle moment for her, I think.
Yeah.
So I don't feel bad. because I'm glad you went through those emotions.
Through those
And,
emotions.
and
I know. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, it's okay. I just glad you went through those emotions and in the first movie, and then kind of like had everything come together all at the end in the second movie.
Were you thinking that though when we were talking? Were you like, she has no idea this is going to be so different?
Not really, but it's more like I don't want to say anything. Like I didn't want to give you anything more than what was spoiling online. So I kind of was like
Yeah.
just tight-lipped, like you know what's out there. I don't want to like add to anything else in here because you just have to see it for yourself. I think that's the best thing. And even if you go watch the live musical, like I don't know if you've like seen clips of it, but just go watch it blind, and it's really good. It's fun.
Interesting. Well, yeah, that was it. I wanted to pick that bone with you.
Um,
Did you
ugh,
think of yours?
no, I don't know what I want to clear the air with. Do you think I should clear the air with something? I'm like trying to think. Have I said anything crazy? I don't think I have.
I don't think so. I just, again, this entire section was selfish so that I could answer the question.
Okay, well, I don't think I have anything to get off my chest. I think I meant everything I said. I think.
All right, now we're moving into the final portion of the insights. What has been the most challenging thing about this podcast for you?
Having to do it every week. I didn't realize how hard it is. Because I feel like everybody jokes around like, oh yeah, everybody has a podcast and everybody does this and everybody can do that. But then when you like have to like sit down and actually do the work and put the script together and coordinate to get the recordings done, and I don't know, it was challenging because it was like something on top of everything else I had to do from like work and personal stuff, and still wanting to enjoy my personal time of doing what I wanted to do, but also having to do work for the podcast. So it's just juggling different aspects of my life. What about you?
Um, Thank you for validating me. I do feel like a lot of people don't realize how much work it takes. Like they think it's just like you get on and it just like is magically this really entertaining conversation.
Yeah.
But I feel like thankfully I'm programmed to live my life around content, but I did not realize how challenging it would be to do it with someone outside of my home. Because like I'm used to creating with Rudy or like even with Liz, we living in the same city for some reason. Like we've had content days where we go do things together. But for some reason, us not being together has made it more challenging than I anticipated. But I think it's also because we're both busy. Because you and Menster love to go do things too. And so it's hard finding like that balance and also just being like candid about it. Just like not being able to revolve the schedule around me.
Yeah.
Because I'm used to like obviously like Liz will also agree on like times that are more like that work more for me because she has like a more flexible schedule, and Rudy, of course, is going to do things when we're both together and both ready to do it. So yeah, I didn't anticipate how hard it was. I feel so bad for like how many times I constantly have to change things on you. I'm always running late. So you've been so patient with me. But yeah, that has been really hard and very like insightful to realize like, oh, it's easy because I'm doing it on my time most of the time.
Yeah, that makes sense. Especially because if you like think of an idea, you can just like, oh, I could just create this right now, right here and then, and I'm like, oh, I have this like free hour. I could like quickly record a podcast and just get it out. But when you add someone else to the mix, like, oh, I have trivia. I have to go to trivia night on that day. I have to go to drag bingo on that day. So yeah, yeah, I could see how it could be hard trying to like incorporate a whole other schedule into your schedule.
Yeah, no, and I'm also not complaining. It's just literally like, oh, I didn't realize that's the most challenging part. But it also has its rewarding things. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll save it for the question. What has been the most rewarding thing about this podcast for you?
I guess two main things for me. I think the first thing is feeling like I created something, and even though I still always look at the negative, like that's just like programmed sometimes in our brains, but still feeling proud of it. Like, oh yeah, we did create 3 seasons of podcast, or three seasons of different episodes that we talked about movies, and something that I have always liked, but never really went out to put it in the internet. So definitely creating these episodes, I definitely feel like accomplished at the end. Like, oh, I did that. I feel accomplished. I can go and treat myself to something. But then the second or the next part to that is finding my voice in a way. Because I've always been so timid and shy, and even like my movie reviews on like Letterboxd, I just like always put like how many stars I like, and I never
Yeah.
really write like an explanation or like why I gave it. And if I do, it's like something stupid. It's not like a real a real movie review. So this podcast has definitely helped me find my voice in a way where I'm like forced to get my voice out, because if I'm not saying anything, then nothing's getting recorded. So it's more like you need to say something, you need to be honest, or you need to, just think of things, dig deep into yourself, and like get those feelings and those words out. And it really pushed me, and yeah, I'm just proud of that.
I'm very proud of you too. It's funny because hearing Menser say those things about you was really nice and like emotional for me, for him to hear him talk about your progress. But then on the other hand, it's weird, but it doesn't surprise me because I feel like I've always known you have it in you. So at the same time, it's kind of like, oh, a little toss.
Toss up.
I already knew you had that in you, or I wouldn't have asked you to do this.
Yeah.
But it's been really nice to see both of you realize like your potential and find your confidence.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think you just hit the nail on the head right there. Is the confidence is I'm finding my confidence in my voice.
I'm
Period.
glad. Well, I will say that the other side of the challenging coin is that I feel like at the same time, even though it is challenging, I feel like the podcast holds us accountable for our friendship, in
Yeah.
the sense of like, even though I'm like, oh, I wanted to be all about my time, at the same time, it like ensures that we prioritize time for each other, which has been like the biggest reward from this for me, because I think we both get busy, like we say. And so there were times that we would just like stop talking for a while, but we've never stopped talking. It's just like I feel more connected to your life than ever now, because like we're constantly like aware of like each other's schedule, and that naturally helps us be like, oh, that's so nice, like to learn more about the life you've built in California, because I'm not there. And then I had, well, my other answer can go into the next one. What have you learned from this podcast?
I guess it goes very similar to what I said before, is like a confidence kind of thing. Because I never would have thought that I would put myself out in the internet at all. Like I just hide everywhere. But first of all, putting out my voice with this podcast, and then second of all, putting myself out on TikTok and doing like random skits, um, random stupid things that I just think of. So I just learned that it's okay to be stupid sometimes, and it's kind of fun to be dumb. And everything doesn't have to be so serious, and everything doesn't have to have a purpose. It could just be a funny video that you make. It's kind of like a reminder for life. Don't take life too seriously. Like, just have fun doing things. I'm not hurting anybody putting out a little funny video. So I just learned that life shouldn't be taken too seriously, and you shouldn't be too scared to just make a random video, or I don't know, doing something dumb. If that makes sense. What about you?
I love that. I was not anticipating that at all. So that is very nice. You learned it a lot faster than I did, thankfully. um I think for me it's been two things. I think this podcast, like if I could sum up like this whole year as podcasting, the word would be healing. From a lot of things though in general, but two things in particular. Like one again is like that heritage thing of just like not having the space to do it in other places, but also just being forced to actually talk about it. Again, I hate to use it again, but like with Rosario, there was no way to talk about that film without talking about our heritage. So in a way, it was healing because it was like it's forcing me to finally like speak out loud about how I feel about being a Mexican American in this time and day, obviously. And then the other part is my imposter syndrome. I've had like huge imposter syndrome about being a screenwriter. And then once I became a screenwriter, it was like, well, I still don't know how to speak about film eloquently. And so like that first season of the podcast really helped me grow so much as a filmmaker. Like it forced me to have the time to actually analyze film at that capacity. And then after hearing some of your reactions to like what I would have to say about film, I was like, oh, I do have really good insight and important things to say about film. And so then that kind of like led to healing my entire journey as a creator, because like I always wanted my platform to just be about film, about movies and TV. And I never had the confidence because I was like, well, what would I even say about movies? And because of this podcast, I'm now like, oh, I know how to speak eloquently about movies and I have the background to do it now. So yeah, I feel like I learned a lot about my own confidence too, which is funny because you would think 5 years in I'd be a pro, but there's always room to keep growing.
Yeah, there's always room for growing. That's true. Yes, and I will also add, something else I learned from the podcast is I know what an accordion shot is.
From your favorite movie.
And yeah, I guess I could add like little things like that Rudy would add, or kind of when you would like ask him questions about certain things. So those are other things I learned. Movie lingo, I guess you can say. Movie making.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
what the
movie
term is.
making.
Movie making
You
lingo.
learned a lot about filmmaking in general, I would say.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. Well, that is my entire interrogation. Is there anything you want to ask or add before we officially wrap your first year as a little baby content creator podcaster?
That's a huge title. No, I think we kind of dissected everything. I don't think I have anything else to ask. Trying to like take a moment just to make sure I'm not forgetting anything, because I don't want to regret this moment and be like, oh, I should have asked something. But no, I think we kind of covered all of our bases for a wrapped episode. So yeah, I think I'm good.
Okay, well, I do want to give a huge shout out to Mr. Spooks, of course. He really helped us with the first 2 seasons of the podcast, figuring out how to edit it and everything. And of course, just always willing to help us with any issues we had. And then, of course, shout out to Mentor Van Gool for joining us when he can with Sinister Sketch. I feel like that's been like a really great addition to what we do on the podcast. And I am super excited to see where season 4 and 2026 takes us, because I feel like we grew a lot this year, and next year will set us up for a lot more success and organization. I'm manifesting right now.
Fresh minds, fresh ideas.
Yes, for sure. I think we are very excited to have this break. Me personally, just so that it gives me time to wrap up the film, because I am ready to go back to producing. Like, I really loved producing this episode again today, and that's part of like the fun for me. So I'm excited to be able to do that again.
Yeah, same here. Same to take a break, much needed break, and kind of just play my video games, do something mindlessly, and then like finally come together in the new year and create some more fun stuff.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Ghosters, we hope you had fun at our spooky slumber party. Be sure to follow us on Instagram so you don't miss when season 4 will be premiering next year.
And remember, keep the spook alive and have a Merry Spookmas and Happy New Year.
Until next time, sending you ghouls and kisses. Bye.
Bye.
Ha 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 ha.